Yes, guys, this is my reaction to United States 1, Türkiye 2 international friendly, adding to, once again, another loss to Maurizio Pochettino's tenure as manager of the U.S. men's national team. How did we do? Are there any upsides? I'd say they were, all things considered, even though there's a good amount of downside for this match. I think it's the best game tactically that we've seen under Poch with this group of players. Now, I can't say the same about his player selection. I'd say that's not the lineup I personally would have put out. I feel like every game under Poch so far has been kind of like a weird group of players coming together just for him to see what they all look like and testing out. I feel like that's happened every single game, and I'm dying to see a consistent lineup. But I mean, what can you do with our extensive injury list, plus players taking a rest, plus Club World Cup missing out on those players? It's just, what can you do with the lineup that we do have? So I kind of get it in a sense. We played a Türkiye side that I would say, with lack of knowledge of Türkiye, of course, I felt like it was pretty full strength for them. Minus Hakan Çalhanoğlu, I feel like we were playing a pretty good side that is Türkiye. I'm thankful for European competition, that's for sure. Started off very strong in the first half. Of course, seconds into the match, Jack McGlynn, great finish outside the box to put us up. And from there, I thought we had a really good 20 minutes, which was great to watch. I think the fan turnout was great. We felt like it was a full stadium. No, side note, I don't know if you've noticed the whistling and the attempts of the Turkish fans that were doing for us to kind of create that hostile environment, which we're used to. We play Mexico all the time, and that is just a whole can of worms in its own self. So I'm thankful that the guys got that experience, especially the guys that don't have many caps wearing a U.S. shirt. So I'm thankful for that. But anyway, the elephant in the room, of course, Johnny's howler. I mean, I really want him to succeed as a USA men's national team player. He does it so well in club. And then that led to their first goal, obviously, and then shortly after their second goal. And from that moment on, momentum just completely shifted to their favor, and we struggled. That whole back end of the first half was just not great. We just couldn't get anything going. Second half, we made a few changes, but we really couldn't get anything out of Türkiye. And which brings me to the main point of this entire reaction and this entire recap of the match, which, to put it simply, is we lack quality, period. There's a lot of excuses for that statement, but I think missing guys like Ballo and Pepe, we lack quality completely. My personal biggest miss is both Anthony Robinson and Sergiño Dest. I think ever since we lost Sergiño Dest to his ACL injury, which thankfully he's back, but ever since we lost him, no matter how good or how not so good we played, I feel like he was a missing puzzle piece to our team, that we never really had a 100% game. And I think if those guys were on the field, we would be a completely different team. I think we miss them more than we miss a 9. Let me know your thoughts on how that is. I feel like we could get away with not having a 9 if we have both Anthony Robinson and Sergiño Dest. Maybe that's a hot take, maybe not. Let's look at the substitutions. I think halftime, the Mark McKenzie for Miles Robinson, that was pretty easily kind of considered, considering how he played. That was great. Tyler Adams for Johnny, obviously really obvious because Johnny had just a stinker of a match, to say the least. 65th minute, the triple substitution for Jack McGlynn. Quinn Sullivan came in. Nathan Harriel for Diego Luna. Haji Wright for Max Arston. Those were okay. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I feel like Poch is just throwing everything he has and doesn't really know. It's like making a soup with ingredients that he doesn't even know. He's closing his eyes when he's grabbing it. That's what it feels like to me. 74th minute, Brian White for Patrick Agyemang. I mean, lack of quality. I'm just going to keep going back to lack of quality. I don't really see much of a increase in quality or decrease in quality for both of those players. So our subs, I think it was just so random, besides the first two at halftime. Those you could probably say, but everything else, I didn't feel like there was any point in either of them. Yeah, Quinn Sullivan is more of a winger than Jack McGlynn is, but Haji Wright for Max Arston, I get it. You're trying out different things. I think this is his first chance of actually getting to see Haji Wright. Brian White for Patrick Agyemang, that was just I don't really rate either of those players. So yeah, the subs, I would say really mid, but who impressed? I think Malik Tillman, I think this was his best performance in a U.S. shirt. Of course, he missed a sitter. That was rough. But I think overall, from what we've seen of him, he's failed to really perform and show us his best as a USA men's national team player. But I think this performance was easily his best. I think Chris Richards also impressed. I'm thankful for a guy like him. He's our best ball playing defender by far. Obviously, he's doing a week in, week out at club level with Palace. I think he is our locked-in starter. I was glad that he got the captain's armband in the beginning, but I'll get to this in a second. I think Tyler should be our captain through and through. I know he didn't start this game, but that just leads me to the first point was I just think Poch is just putting in everything he has without any consideration. That's what it feels like as a fan, as an outsider. I think the Richards and Mark McKenzie duo starting at the second half was really good. I don't think Mark McKenzie had the best game ever as a single player, but the Richards and McKenzie duo I really liked a lot. Luca De La Torre, this was kind of the same thing with Malik Tillman. I think this was his best performance in a U.S. shirt. I think he played pretty solid. He didn't stand out by any means, but I do think that he was kind of our most solid midfielder on the day. And then Tyler Adams, of course, as expected, he needs to be our captain. Like every single match that he's in the squad, he needs to be starting. He needs to be wearing that captain's armband because I feel like every time he's on the pitch, he makes everyone better. He walked onto the field and you just felt that the USA was playing differently. They had a different swagger about them, not in the best way. They weren't like playing Türkiye off the field. But when Tyler came on, he did make a difference just by being there, which I appreciated. He's my captain every single time. I love that guy. Now, who played decent? I mean, decent is probably like an overstatement for these guys. I think Max Arsene was fine. He tried. That's about it. He tried. Diego Luna showed heart, but I mean, like that's like his statement is like he just shows a ton of heart. I think people, just because of how he played in recent matches, January camp, I feel like people really have put a lot of expectation on him as a player. But I mean, at the end of the day, he's brand new to the squad. He is still playing in MLS. I feel like there's a lot of room for growth for him. I think he played fine. I didn't think it was anything too special. He had a really good moment when he came in, he slide tackled, won the ball, and created a chance for us from that hustle, which obviously I think every USA fan appreciates his hustle. But I feel like that was really the only thing he really could contribute to yesterday's match. McGlynn, I thought he did better than what others are giving him credit for. Playing out of position the way he did, I thought he did a lot better than people are saying. People are saying he had a bad game. I don't necessarily think he had a bad game by any means, but I do think he was a fish out of the water in that position that he played. So Matt Freese, he didn't really do much. Wasn't really to blame for both goals. Didn't really think that he was any bad or any good. Obviously, I think Pochettino is just really trying to see everything he can before the World Cup. Now, who played bad? Obviously, Johnny. This was hard for me to watch because I really rate Johnny, watching him at club level at Betis, and now he's moving to Atletico, possibly. I really want him to succeed, but we just can't get his club form to translate when he puts on that USA men's national team shirt. Ajimang, I think Patrick Ajimang is the epitome of what's wrong with our squad right now. Everything wrong with the USMNT right now is just lack of quality, and he just embodies that completely. I feel like his touch is sloppy. I don't feel like he has any good hold-up play. Like this big athletic striker that we have, he's supposed to be this really solid rock that we can feed the ball and he can play around him with guys like Luna, guys like Tillman. And in the future, Pulisic could be a really great outlet for him to find, but he just doesn't have that quality in build-up play. He's just not what we need as a 9. And then Miles Robinson, just an all-around mid performance. I don't really think he played very well. Now, this one, I think this was my biggest loser of the match, and I say that, with respect to him. But Alex Freeman, I feel like he looked really timid. He was very scared. I felt like every time he got shown the ball, I feel like he froze up and had to make a quick decision no matter how much time he had. So overall, I feel like there's some wins, of course losses. We lost the game. We didn't really outplay anything in terms of possession or build-up play. I think building out of the back as a whole has gotten better. Like I said in the beginning, this is probably the best we've seen tactically. By no means were we outstanding. By no means were we great. But I feel like there's a little light at the end of the tunnel from what everyone is saying. This game was a disaster, another terrible match. I don't think it's as bad as people think it should be or saw it. I think there was a lot of bright spots that I think once we get Des back, once we get Robinson back, once we get our players back, I feel like that could really be this tactic that we chose to play with Türkiye was really something that we could build off of, but time will tell. Time will tell. Let's get into player ratings. So I would probably start at goalkeeper, Matt Freese. I'd probably give him a 5. He didn't really do much. He let in 2 goals. Now, was it his fault? Maybe not. Maybe it was. You can say that. So I'd give him a 5. Max Arfson, I would also give him like a 4.5. I don't think he showed out very much. He tried really hard, which is great, but I don't think anything really came from him. Miles Robinson, I'd give him a 3. Really poor. Didn't like it. Richards, I'd give him a 6 or 7. I think that second goal was just really sloppy on the whole entire back line, whole entire defensive, on the defensive front. That was just, the second goal was super sloppy. We should have cleared it way before it even got to their player. Alex Freeman, I would give him a 3, maybe 2. I don't think he played well at all. Johnny, also a 2. I mean, that's just, it broke my heart to see that happen. Luca De La Torre, I would probably give him a 5 as well, maybe a 6. I thought he was one of the brighter spots of the whole squad. Diego Luna, I'd give him a 5, maybe a 4, probably 4. I feel like I'm kind of getting sucked into the expectations around him, just how he's been playing, how he's playing for club level. I think that, there's a lot of promise with him. So I expected more, didn't see what I expected. So I think my rating shows that around a 4 would probably make more sense. Malik Tillman, I'd probably give him a 7, just because, well, he did miss that sitter. That probably brings him down probably to a 6. But I do still hold to my saying that this was his best performance in the USA shirt. Jack McGlynn, I would give him a 5. Really just 5s is just how I feel about this entire team today. Patrick Ajimang, I would give him a 3. I don't think he produces anything that we want him to produce. I feel like we're giving him something that we're setting a standard that he just can't reach right now. As for subs, Tyler Adams, I'd give him a 6. I feel like he was solid. He created that chance for Malik Tillman to head it in. Couldn't finish it. I thought that was really great. I'm glad he has that in his locker. He continues to surprise us with that long shot against Mexico a while back, and now putting in balls like this. I feel like I feel like he is our best player aside from Christian Pulisic and Anthony Robinson right now in this camp. I feel like Tyler Adams is by far the best out of all of our players. Mark McKenzie, I'd give him a 5. He came in, did a job, played well with Chris Richards. I feel like that duo is probably our best center back pairing, especially going into the World Cup. Quinn Sullivan, I didn't really see much with him. I didn't really think that was any bright spots with him. I feel like if you would have brought on an Aronson to do that, I feel like he would have done that much better. Nathan Harriel, I mean, he's like, I didn't see much either. He had that one crazy foul towards the end of the match, but that's the only time I really ever got to see him. Haji Wright, now I'm disappointed with Haji because I used to not rate him in the last World Cup. I used to think he was not the best player. He's really grown on me. He's really shown a lot with Coventry. But, I mean, this match was not his best performance at all. Of course, he came on the bench. If he starts, maybe that's a different story. But coming off the bench, I didn't really see much with him. Brian White, I'm not even rating these guys. Quinn Sullivan probably gets a 3 for me. Nathan Harriel, probably a 2. Haji Wright, also a 3. Brian White, honestly, a 2. Tyler Adams, I think I gave him a rating already, but I'd give him again probably a 6. Anyways, overall, I think we're sitting at like the 4 or 5 range as a team, as our player ratings. But I think we played okay, considering all that we have on our display. I'm interested to see how we'll fare against Switzerland on Tuesday, to see what new things Poch will try. I'd really love to see a Tyler and Johnny pairing. I don't think that's likely considering what happened against Türkiye. Hope we get to see more of Malik, but I fear Poch will put in Aronson at that 10 position, and I really want Malik to get consistent minutes just to get him kind of flowing. I feel like he could be a really good player under Poch. He reminds me of a Dele Alli whenever he played with Tottenham. And I think my biggest hope going forward is to finally see some more consistent starting 11. I feel like I said, we've been so sloppy, consistently putting out this ragtag group of players that lack quality, and I don't think that'll be helpful for us going forward. I'm hopeful. I do think there's some things to look forward to. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for watching. Come on, USA.